I'm building a website with Claude Code, and before I write a single prompt, I'm going to show you the one thing that separates a good AI build site from the generic slop. You've probably already seen 100 times. Claude Code, here's the whole system I use to make sure this doesn't end up looking like every AI website. That one difference is going to save you hours today. And now, prompting versus directing. Most people just type what they want and hopes. That's not designing a website, that's just gambling, and people getting good results aren't better at writing prompt. They know exactly what they want before they open anything. And once you've got your standard, there's one more thing you need before you build a simple section. And skipping it, it's why most AI feels like they're missing something. And now set your visual standard. And before you write a single prompt, find 2-3 real websites in the business industry and that feel intentional, not templated, not stock photo generic. That's your bar. That's what you need to do. And another thing that I like to do is just look through different websites for based on what kind of website you want to make, and I look for a website with intention. Now, structure before design. Map the sitemap, the homepage, the services, the about, the contact page, whatever pages are actually needed. Then map the sections inside each page. Then gather real content, the real headline, the real services, the real contact info. AI can't invent specific details, but skipping it, this is why people end up reprogramming, reprompting forever. Yeah, here way simpler for what we're doing today. Simple map, sections. You also have the target customer, primary website objective, primary visitor actions, secondary visitor actions, required sections, functional requirements, technology, and before building, summarize the proposed website structure, explain the conversion journey, identify the files you plan to create, and then create this file containing permanent project instructions. This was my first prompt for a premium car detailing company called Apex Auto Detail. The images will really break or make or break the design. So one bad image will wrecks a clear design, and one great photo makes a simple design, simple site feel premium. Split imagery in two types: photos showing the service in action and portrait real faces. Keep the same lighting and mood across all of them so it feels consistent, not thrown together. What I use for that, I use Chat GPT. You can just give an example of a photo, and then you have a consistent feel across your images. So you have the same image with your face or client face. And because I want to make this video short for a complete beginner, just focus on this when you build your website. Just restate, think about just one sentence core idea, because direction beats blind prompting every time. Then show the finished site, let the reveal breathe before you talk over it. Quick here. Let's watch what happens if I just type build a website for lens camping business. Let's see what we get. And here it's gonna ask us, what does lens camping business actually do? And here we can select guided camping, campground, or you can type exactly what you want. Premium outdoor adventure company offering guided camping trips, backpacking expeditions, glamping experiences, or survival workshops, equipment rentals, and custom corporate and family retreats. Okay, now let's click on next. Okay, let's go with the first open, just single page for now. Always build page by page. Don't ask the AI to build you the full page from the first prompt. Okay, so one line, no direction. So let's actually look at what this build, and the typography is fine. The colors, I would say, are fine as well. That's not a problem anymore. Apparently AI gotten better at that part on its own, but look at the headline, the wildest calling, answer it will. Sounds nice, like, right? But tells you nothing. Who is this for? What do I actually get? And also, which one I'm supposed to click? It doesn't know either, because I don't know. It doesn't know who I am yet. Let's look even more. And here for the services are 6 different buttons, 6 different tasks, like no single path to actually booking anything. Stock, okay. Yeah, this is what happens when you skip the one thing I talked about earlier, deciding who is this for and what you want them to do before you even open the tool and start. So yeah, this is where most people would make this mistake. They would think the solution I'll keep regenerating the website until Claude will get me, will understand me, and Claude will gets lucky, and creates what I was looking for. So that's not how professionals use AI. What you have to do is like Claude already built a decent layout. The problem is that Claude doesn't know what this business is trying to achieve. Okay, the layout isn't the actual problem. It's just that Claude doesn't know exactly what your business is trying to achieve. So that's where I'm trying to point out. So it doesn't know who the ideal customer is. It doesn't know who the biggest objections, doesn't know what makes this company different, and it doesn't know the single action we want visitors to take. And so, yeah, instead of asking Claude to build another website, we're going to give it the information it never had. So this is the next step to make this website better. Notice I'm not talking about colors or animations, I'm talking about business strategy. Once Claude understands the strategy, it can make much better design decisions. Designs follow strategy, it's not a way around. Your business will be different. Maybe you are a plumber, maybe you're a lawyer, maybe you are building a SaaS product. So don't copy my prompt, replace these sections with information about your business. This is the prompt I used, but here's the prompt that you can use as well. You can add here your describe the business, what should the website accomplish, who is buying, what stops them from buying, what outcome do they want, one makes it different, what should visitors do, and review the existing website. And this is the prompt I saw. Now let's paste this prompt and let's see what we can make. Notice something, I haven't asked Claude to write a single line of code. At this stage, we're not designing, we're thinking. Most people use AI backwards. They generate a website, don't like it, regenerate it, don't like it again, regenerate it again. Professionals don't regenerate, they diagnose. And look at Claude's first sentence. This isn't about fonts, colors, or animation. It's about business. Okay, the current site is a mood board, not a sales page. That's exactly the kind of feedback we want. Before changing the website, Claude is identifying why it won't convert. Then we asked Claude to think like a conversion expert. Okay, so instead of randomly changing things, it audits the website. What should say, what should move, what should be removed, what's completely missing. This is exactly how a professional designer reviews a website. Imagine if I skip this step and then immediately asked Claude to redesign everything. I would make hundreds of decisions based on guesses. Now it doesn't have to guess. Look how specific this becomes. Instead of make a better hero, Claude tells us exactly what the hero needs to communicate. Who is this for? What we do, why choose us, what to do next. And that's why I separate web creation into stages. First, generate something. Second, analyze the strategy. Third, rewrite the copy. Fourth, reorganize the layout. And finally, improve the design. So notice we still haven't touched the code, and that's intentional. A website is built twice, first in strategy and then in code. And if the strategy is wrong, writing better HTML just gives you a prettier version of a wrong website. Now that Claude understands the strategy, we still don't touch the code. The next mistake people make is asking Claude to redesign the website immediately. Don't. A website is made of layers, okay? First, strategy, second, code. Okay, we're going to rewrite every headline, every paragraph, every button, and every call to action before touching the layout. Why? Because once the copy changes, the design changes naturally. For example, our headline was "This wild is calling." After the strategy, Claude already knows that visitors don't care about poetic headlines, right? They care about safety, convenience, and whether the trip is right for them. So instead of redesigning the hero, we're first rewriting the message. So once the messaging is correct, then we'll ask Claude to upload the HTML to match the new structure. That way, every design decision is based on strategy instead of guesswork. Look at what Claude just produced. This isn't just another website, is a complete copywriting pass. Notice how every section now has a purpose. The original headline said, "The wild is calling." It sounds nice, but it didn't help someone decide whether to book. Now the headline immediately tells the viewer who is this for, what problem it solves, and why they should keep reading. Look at the rest of the page. Claude isn't randomly changing words, is rewriting the website around the strategy we created in the previous step. So instead of jumping straight into services, we now explain the process that removes uncertainty. Instead of saying premium experience, we're explaining exactly what the customer gets. Instead of hoping visitors trust us, we're giving them reasons to trust us. Now here, the FAQ isn't there because every website needs an FAQ. It's there because we identified the biggest objections earlier, and now we're answering them before the visitor even asks. Notice something else, we still haven't touched the HTML. That's intentional. If we redesign the website first, we'd be arranging weak messaging. So instead, we fix the messaging first. Now, Claude knows exactly what every section should be. The final step is straightforward. We're going to ask Claude to apply this copy, reorganize the existing layout, remove the unnecessary sections, and add the missing ones, and keep as much of the existing code as possible. This is the exact same website. I didn't ask Claude to start over. I didn't regenerate 10 different versions. I gave it context. So look at the difference. The original hero tried to sound inspiring. Now it immediately tells visitors who the service is for, what they get, and what they should do next. Notice that trust appears immediately. Instead of making visitors hunt for credibility, we put exactly where they need it. How it works, this section didn't exist before. We added it because people don't just buy camping tips, they buy certainty. Another new section, instead of saying premium services, we're showing exactly what's included. Safety and guides. This is a perfect example of a strategy driving design. Earlier, Claude told us that safety was the biggest objection. Now that objection has a new section dedicated to it. And the FAQ isn't filtered. Now every question came from the customer's fears we identified during the strategy phase. The important thing isn't that Claude wrote this. The important thing is the order we used. Generate, analyze, build a strategy, rewrite the code, rewrite the copy, implement the changes, audits, and improve. Most people think prompting is about finding one perfect prompt. It isn't. Professional prompting is a process. Each prompt has one job. One prompt creates the next prompt. Thinks, then the next prompt writes, and then the next prompt builds. The final prompt critiques. That's why this version is dramatically better than the first one, even though it's the same website. Now our website is finished. Let's publish it so anyone can visit it online. Before we can do that, there are two free tools we need to install. The first one is Node.js. So open your browser and go to this URL, and then we're just gonna click on install. So I'm on macOS, I'm just gonna click on this. Now I'm gonna click on right over here. Continue, continue, agree, install. And I'll just enter the password. Okay, move to trash. Now Node.js lets your computer run modern JavaScript applications locally, which is exactly what Claude Code generates. Next, we need to install Git, so head over to this website, download Git for your operating system and run the installer. For me, I'm just gonna click on install. Now I do have to go through this installation process because I'm using macOS, but for you, you just need to choose one of those options and then just click on, let's say, this setup, start with this one, and then that's pretty much it. For me, I'm just gonna use the terminal. Now on our website locally, so instead of opening terminal and typing commands ourselves, we can simply ask Claude. So I'm just gonna paste this prompt, type notes, I saved this prompt here, and I'm gonna paste this here. Now Claude will install anything that's missing, will start the development server and give us a local address where we can preview the website. Is saving the project to GitHub. GitHub stores your code online. It also makes deploying updates much easier, and it will ask Claude to initialize Git and create the first commit. And I'll ask Claude to initialize the Git and create the first commit. Just need to allow once you paste this command. Sign in or create a free account, click the new repository or create repository and give your repository a name. Leave everything else as default, then click on create repository. It gives us a few commands. So instead of running them ourselves, we let Claude do it. So I'll just copy this commands and I'll just directly from GitHub and paste them into Claude Code and let it handle everything. Just make sure you add this right over here and then connect this project to my GitHub repository using this command. And there is it, pushed, as you can see, and this is my sites now live on GitHub. And with full repo, index, style script tracked, from here on, every update is just one command, get push. And one thing I like to do at this point, since it's a static site, I can flip on GitHub Pages right here. In the settings, I can go in the settings and in the pages. And then here from here, I need to select the main and then GitHub Actions. Now this should update. This is your site is at this URL, right? But if you want, you can have a HTML starting HTML, configure, commit changes. And now once we go back and refresh this, you can click on visit site and here's the site. But you don't have a custom domain, and then enter here your domain and click on save.